It's the Logan Power Show. Inspirational and motivational. It's the Logan Power Show. Informational to help you grow. Logan Power Show. And now the host, Calvin Logan.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another live broadcast here at the Logan Power Show. It's me, your host, Calvin Logan, and I thank y'all for watching me here on today. I know that when we say we want to start a career or life, it starts somewhere. It's a dream. I want to do this. I see myself accomplishing thing in my life. You know, I can see myself getting over to the mountaintop. Well, I got with me a young man. He's a senior at Baptist Hill Middle High School. He's excited about what he wants to do in his career life. He's the one and only Mr. Antwayne Mikell. What's going on, sir?
How are you?
Doing great. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, man. Currently a senior, about to graduate class of 2024.
Yes.
So big question. You always want to say to yourself, what do you want to be when you grow up? So the floor is yours. What do you want to do, my sir?
Oh, well, I mainly want to focus on broadcasting, because as you can tell that sports play a big role nowadays with the community we have and everything. So, sports broadcasting is one of my biggest dreams as of right now. I'm also a baseball player, so that plays into a big part which of sports broadcasting also. So that's the two major things I want to do, but you always got to have a second plan if baseball doesn't work. My second plan is to go into sports broadcasting or just to be a news anchor or anything dealing with the sports world or just anything going on in the world, really, because it's just a lot. And with that, you want to focus. I mean, with me, I mainly want to focus on sports and just everything covering the topic of sports. Like, there's not that many young people doing it. So, I mean, I want to be the first person to ever do it.
Okay. Be the first one to ever do it. Is anyone in particular that you've been watching in sports casting that you say you look your sort of mirror your game after, or saying like, I watched their career and how they've expounded their plethora of knowledge. Is anyone in particular that you say, hey, I like their style and I'm watching their career path?
Mainly David Ortiz when he does the postseason, the sports season, the postseason. He covers the postseason in the MLB, and mainly Kenny J, Shaq, Charles Barkley, all those guys over there on the NBA, and First Take, Shannon Sharp, um, Stephen A. Smith, and everybody.
Okay, well, shout out to Big Poppy. Shout out to the brothers. They call him the Diesel, the Doctor, Shaquille O'Neal. Shout out to again Kenny, the Jet Smith. Shout out to Sir Charles Barkley, and shout out to EJ doing the thing, and shout out to First Take with Molly, with Stephen A. Smith and Mr. Shannon Sharp. And we know that these people are doing some great things that you see yourself. Now, journalism and getting into broadcasting is a big field. When you look at it from a wider perspective, you're seeing a lot of challenges that people do face, especially people of color. And getting to those platforms, if you followed some of the people you mentioned, some have been actually former players and gotten themselves through. Outside of former players, there have only been a couple that have not been former players. Stephen A. Smith has not been like sort of like I guess let's say a professional uh actual player before he got into the journalism field. So for yourself, you love baseball. Baseball, something you do look after is your love, but you want to be able to compete. So do you have like a game plan? Like is a particular college you saw that you want to be able to mirror your talents to if given the opportunity?
Oh yes, sir. As of right now, I'm still filling out college applications. But the one school that mainly caught my eye is University of Voorhees down in Denmark, South Carolina, Newberry College up there, Newberry, North Carolina, and I'm trying to push, trying to push for the University of North Carolina State. They have a very good baseball team. They also have a degree that I want to push for, and they can give me an opportunity on a plethora of the things that I can try or push for.
Okay. Well, shout out to my alma mater, Voorhees College, Voorhees University, where I play college baseball, Division II, NAIA. So I know that their journalism, their communications group would love to have you and to love to be a part. So long and behold, let's fast forward. Let's see. Right now, we're in 2023. We are skipping ourselves, moving forward into, say, a couple years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Where do you want to see yourself? I know that what you're trying to do is not easy. First, you say you want to play college baseball, something I really want to do, and then second, my backup is broadcasting. Both of those things are called heavyweights. What are you going to tell yourself? Talk to yourself from 5 years down the road. What are you going to take to keep that motivation when challenges do arise?
Well, I'm just gonna try to keep looking towards the big prize, being on those big TV networks or just plain old just doing the little stuff I can. The main thing I would try to keep me pushing is just to focus on, just to mainly focus on, I got to this point, so now what's next? I'm always going to think about the what's next, or always have that backup plan. Like a coach I always used to play, coach I used to play for up there in West Ashley, even in the second half, you say the score is still 0-0. You decide how this game goes, and Mr. Logan was my geometry teacher too, my algebra teacher. He I forgot what he said, but it stuck with me for a while now, and he helped me turn my path, and now I'm a senior in high school now, so but mainly I just look at it as 0-0. What you gonna do next? How what's gonna be your next move? How you gonna change the way? How you gonna change the way that the game's gonna come out of? Always got to think of what's next. That's it. Like there's no retry. You always got to think of what's next.
Absolutely. For those that don't know, Mr. Antwayne was my freshman student in Algebra 1. As you can see, time has evolved from him. He was one of my first students when I started teaching in 2020. And still teaching now, but he was one of my first students who I've seen grow. And now look at it now. He wants to continue on his studies, and he is passing his math. That's a beautiful thing. One of the models we always say, work hard, play hard. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And we always say math is universal, and have faith and not fear. So as you can see, this young man is going to take his faith to the next level, and he is not going to allow obstacles to stop him. So I'm really proud of you. It's good to see that your hair's grown, got a lot more hair than I do. Mr. Logan still bald. But big picture. Let's talk to those that a person who may be watching, who's a young person like yourself. Trials and tribulations do come about. People say, like, you're dreaming too big, you're thinking too big. Why you want to do something that you don't see being like an easier way, a pathway. You're taking on these big challenges. So I want you to take the floor, speak to those young people who may be watching you and saying, like, hey, I want to shoot for the stars. Tell them why they should keep shooting for the stars. The floor is yours.
Well, shooting for the stars, you just gotta dream big. You just gotta have your plan laid out. You just can't stick to that one plan, and that one plan is going good for you. Hey, stick to it. But you always gotta have another plan, man. You just can't stick to that one plan and be like, oh, well, this is how I want it to go, or this how, because stuff can change. anytime, any place, anywhere, stuff can change. And you always got to have that backup plan to where, well, if this don't work, I'm gonna do this. Well, if that don't work, I'm gonna do this. You always got to have a number two or what if. If your original plan was to go to the NFL and things aren't working well, you can always pick up another sport or just go to college and get a nice degree, man. There's a bunch of people that that wants to go to the NFL and didn't make it. You always got to have that backup plan. Always got to have a backup plan, man.
Absolutely. For those that we're speaking right now, find your purpose. As you can see from me and him, baseball is my love. I love baseball, basketball, soccer. I love playing it. Didn't happen. But I hate coaching. And now the Logan Power Show, a lot of things have happened, and I love teaching. So I know a lot of things, God can always put you another pathway to where you're going. He'll keep you in the passion that you love, but your main focus is finding your purpose. So class of 2024, I want a final thought for yourself. Your class is very pivotal. They say 2024, 2025 are some years where people may not be even thinking about college. College is like out of their spectrum. I don't know if school is for me anymore. I got through because you guys, 2020, maybe keep in mind, you were the class where life really changed for you. The pandemic hit, and you guys have slowly but matricularly, things have happened that really made you guys really have a tough time. And these next two classes, class 2024 and 2025, how will you be able to stand? So what are your personal take? Why should young people pursue education? Realize that, it's a big world out there, and that, my ways of that I'm stuck in, and now I need to understand and get out my ways. What your mom used to always say, you the biggest person, you in your way, get out your way. So speak to that. Floor is yours.
Well, staying in your way, man, that's just gonna mess you up big time. You want everything to go your way, like you want everything to go your way, it's not gonna happen. So the reason why you should pursue your education, it's a whole nother opportunity out there. It's a huge world out there, man. And you just want to stick in that one spot where there's nothing. I mean, wherever anybody is from, you always have that one person that is an example. They were all this in high school, but now they turn to the streets and they just like living in the streets. Like they know everything about the streets, but don't know math. I mean, come on. I mean, no offense to people who are like out there, but there's more there's more in the world than just where you're from. It's a there's colleges you can go to, there's places you can visit, there's job opportunities out there, but people are stuck in that mindset to the point where like, oh, well, I'm stuck here, I'm just gonna be here forever. Like, it's just odd to me sometimes.
Spoken from we saw a young man giving some words of wisdom. I hope that's making sense to the older generation, middle generation, younger generation. You got to understand that it's a big world out here. So you got to shoot for the galaxy, shoot for the planet Jupiter, Mars. Stop saying the sky's the limit, because you're limiting yourself. The limitation is what we don't want to be. So I want you to remember this name, Antwayne Mikell. I'm telling you, when he makes the broadcasting booth, when he makes it to anything he does, whatever he does, if it's baseball, coaching, I'm telling you, this is the young man that I tell you right now, if he were to tell you his testimony, if he were to tell you what he looked like, people counting him out, it's the people that pretty much who stood in the gap for him, people who stood in the gap. And like I said again, ladies and gentlemen, the seeds that you sowed will be a representation of what God has done. I sowed some seeds. His mom sowed some seeds. Look at him now. That's the same young man that people say one thing, but God has another plan. So remember, your purpose will take you to your true destination. That's all the time I got. My name is Calvin, the Logan Power Show. Nationwide, worldwide. We love you. See you soon.
It's the Logan Power Show. Inspirational and motivational. It's the Logan Power Show. motivational to help you grow. Logan Power Show.